Visit OnTableTop.com and comment on all 3 days of the Flames of War Bootcamp to be in with a chance of winning one of 3 Flames of War bundles.
Hello everybody, we are back at the bootcamp. I am here with Chris from Battlefront, and today we are having a bit of a chat about this. Hit the beach. So this is what our bootcampers have received this weekend. What all is in this box is going to be the question for this particular video, to let everybody see what you could have won if you had joined us here this weekend.
Absolutely, and they are feverishly putting it together out there right now. They're really excited by it, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, because it's a 2-player starter set, everybody's diving in. I've had folks ask me, do I build one? Do I build both? I've just went, go ahead, build both. That way we can avoid blue on blue.
Absolutely. And Warren and Jerry almost had an argument out there about who was doing Germans.
Jerry has enough Germans. He's got like 12,000 points.
Yeah, I think he's doing the Shermans at the moment. So
yeah. Okay, so this is the new introduction for Flames of War 4th, yeah?
That's right. Yep, 4th edition for late war.
Mm-hmm. All right, now what we'll do is we'll dive into the box. So gorgeous artwork on the front, because you guys always do gorgeous artwork. And, wow. So the first thing we see, recolored plastic, nice touch. Yep. Always good to have. We've got a mixture of stuff in here. So we've got our Shermans. We've got more Shermans.
And even more Shermans.
And more Shermans. And Sherman. Now, do we have any different variants of Sherman in this box?
Yep, so on the actual Sherman sprue itself, you have got a couple of different options for the front hull here. So if you wanted to take a Mark IV or a Mark III, you can vary it a little bit there.
Okay.
And then we've also got the M4A1, which is a slightly different cast turret there for the 75mm.
All right, well, we'll dive into those, have a closer look in a second. Yep. But for the Germans, we get Panzer IV, Panzer IV, Panzer IV, V1 flying bomb, which is always fun. And we get idiots.
No, they're the Pak 47.5 centimeters there.
I see. We then get all of our infantry, and you get a lot of infantry in this box, so you're getting a nice, well-rounded faction to actually, or pair of factions to show off. You get your bases, you get dice. I like when you include dice.
Yep.
We get mini rulebook, cards, and core rules leaflet that's going to let you get off the ground pretty quick.
Yep, and that's a quick start guide for anybody who's not really introduced to Flames of War before as well.
And then our instruction manual. So let's start digging into this. So let's start with some of the sprues, shall we? So we've got a couple of different ones for the Shermans here. Yeah, this is quite interesting. So this is our main one for the Sherman, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're all identical except for the smaller ones, yes?
Yeah, so the only difference on the smaller ones here is slightly different cast on the hull. So that makes it the M4A1 of the variant that's got the 75mm in the turret there. So the turret, if you see at the back here, has got a little bit different, so like a little bit longer. That's right, yep.
Yeah.
And you also obviously got the longer gun barrel as well for the 75mm. And then other than that, it's the same kit. So you have the same tracks, you have the same base on it. So when people are putting together, they can obviously have the separate tanks there for it.
And then what we're seeing on the sprue itself, so we've got tracks, side skirts, lower hull, gun mantlet.
Yep.
We've got the front transmission, rear of the lower hull, another part of the gun mantlet, front of the tank. These are the two components.
Yep, so they're the two alternate ones that you can have. So if you wanted to make it more of a British one, then you could use the one you've got your finger on, and then you've got the American one there. You can use them interchangeably as well, because obviously you're using different equipment.
Yeah, you got your main hull, you've got your more rounded cast turret that we all know and love.
Yeah.
You've got some stowage here, you've got your main gun, you've got open hatch and closed hatch here, you've got a couple of 50 cals here, another one of the guns here, and some more stowage and spare components here.
Yep.
Whew. Okay, now, like you said, on the other one, I can see some nice variation on this hull if you're wanting to turn it into the other variant. We've then got a different rear for this particular hull. We've got the turret itself, we've got the gun, we've got this. What is this? What is this? Oh, that's the gun mantlet for this turret.
Yep.
And then you've got another hatch here. So that's our Shermans. Now, these are the backbone of any allied force, yes?
They certainly are, especially for the Americans designing the box. It's the armoured force for Flames of War and late war, really, that the Americans used.
How many do we get in the box here?
I think it's 8 that you get in the box. So you've got the two 76mm Shermans here, and then you should have, 6 there of the 75mm Shermans, which are obviously...
So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 2 of the others.
Yeah, and obviously these pass over the top, use the different hull and the different turret on there. So
exactly. So basically these are an upgrade sprue to this.
Yes.
So you could build it all the other way if you really want it, if you're instantly dropping in and building lists.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm guessing for the recommendation is build what's on the back of the box.
Yeah, to get you going, especially for new players to Flames of War or haven't maybe touched the versions in a little while, this it's a good starter set to get them going.
All right, let's dive into the German vehicles. Now, German vehicles for me, I have always had a bit of a passion for them. I have always said to John, I would love to own one, but I don't have that kind of money. So let's dive into the sprues here. So we've got your upper hull, your tracks, your cupolas. You've got an exhaust here, part of the gun attachment here to the turret.
Yep.
You've then got Scherzen, and you get two variants of Scherzen.
You actually get 3 variants on here. So so the bottom one there, it's got everything a little bit higgledy-piggledy, is where it's maybe the rails have come off because they just hang the armor plates over there. Above that are the straight ones, factory fresh, and then just above that, the 2 thin strips are actually the rails without the Scherzen. So if players wanted to obviously model their Panzer IV without them, then they can do.
Gotcha. You've then got spare track here, main gun, lower hull, Scherzen for the side of the turret, which is quite nice. The turret's here, lower turret's here. Couple of, I think that's part of the belly plate that goes onto the front. And
yeah, that's the front one. Yeah.
I think that goes onto the back somewhere.
Yeah, just to hold it all together.
Yeah. So that is a Panzer IV. Now, you get 3 of these in the box.
You certainly do. So again, it's a good start for a German armoured force. On their own, it's a platoon's worth.
I always say the Germans always have the edge with the vehicles. Anytime I've played any World War II game, the German vehicles are always super dangerous.
Yes, they are. It's whether it's the gun in them or even the armour on them as well. And they look nice as well, don't they?
Yeah.
That squareness to them.
Oh, yeah. You see, the Germans were one of the first nations to basically make what I consider to be the modern sort of silhouette of a tank.
Yeah,
because if you look at some of the French stuff, the really early war stuff, it's all a little bit weird. You know, I mean, like whenever you consider the Russians had the BT-7, which you had the option to run the tracks on.
Yes,
you can take it off and just run it on a road if you want to. It was just like, what? No, why? Okay, we also get a V1 flying bomb. I assume this is more of an objective than anything else.
It is, yeah. So it's a plastic objective marker that we've included into the set just as a little bit of a bonus, really. So it hasn't got any sort of playable terms in game, although I'm pretty sure people would make up some rules. Yeah, absolutely. But again, it's a really nice plastic sprue that we put together that's got the actual V1 bomb in 3 parts. So that's the bottom there, I think, with the top plate, and then you've got the
engine,
the
and then
exhaust.
we've got your launch ramp in 3 sections with the scaffolding that goes around it, the end of it. This is the other end of it, I believe.
Yes, it is, yeah. And that makes quite a long piece as well. It's a good couple of inches.
Yep. Right, we then get the...
Pack 40. That's right. Yes, that's 7.5 centimeter anti-tank gun.
Now, even these could be quite dangerous to Allied vehicles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got enough punch to them. So you've got your wheels, you've got some ammo stowage, you've got a little pioneering tool plate here.
Yeah.
You've got the main gun shield, you've got the main carriage, and the main gun here.
Yep.
And all of your crew for that is on the sprues as well. You get 2 thereof.
There is 2 of them, yeah, and I say everything else is on the sprue. Yep.
Now, I am curious to have a look at this, because this is our infantry. So
yeah.
In here, we're going to have main infantry, and we're also going to have some vehicle commanders.
That's right, yeah.
Nice. So your vehicle commanders, all on one sprue. I assume there is German and American ones in here. And are they marked? They are not, but I'm sure it's in the rules. Or in
yes, it's in the instruction manual. You've got the different options for them. And on the main sprues, you've also got some alternate commanders as well, Germans and British as well, if somebody wanted to make British Shermans.
I see. Now, quick check for me will be, are these 2 sprues identical?
They are not.
They are.
They are not, actually.
Really?
Really. So if you look down the bottom here,
okay,
you've got the separate sprues for the 60mm Americans. And then on the alternate...
So I look at this, and that looks like an identical sprue to me, but there's a little bit of change on this reel here, you're saying?
That's right, yeah. So it's basically 60mm mortar for the Americans. And then you've also got, I think, the option for the...
Yeah, so we've got some guys with Panzerfaust on here, some guys with rifles, MP40s. We've got... Oh, that's a nice pose there, because he's actually got the stick pouches on him as well. You've got some command elements in there. Now, the Americans and the Germans are both on the same sprue, so be careful of that, guys, whenever you're splitting the boxes down if it's you and a mate jumping in. Yeah, it's not just a case of giving one sprue to you and one to your mate. Yeah, and then on this side, we can see what you were talking about, that slight change in it. I like this guy running around with I think that's a BAR, if I remember right, or is it? Is it an MG32 maybe?
I think it'll probably be
This guy here.
Yeah, so that'll be the light machine gun, the 1918 machine gun there he's got.
Yeah, and then we've got a nice little 30 cal crew in here as well for your Americans.
Yes.
30 cals were quite prevalent in their forces.
Yes, yeah, and that's where they're getting the heavy firepower down range to get rid of the enemy, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it's something I've mentioned quite a lot whenever I'm talking about American gear, because the one you always think of for the support weapon was an odd one, the BAR.
Yep.
Which had a very small ammo capacity for being a support weapon.
Yeah,
and it was quite the brute of a thing. The interesting thing for it, for me, historically, they actually had it during World War One. They didn't actually deploy it because they were scared the Germans would get their hands on it. So they actually issued their guys the French Shona, which was a piece of crap. No, this thing had a banana mag.
Yeah.
So half
all the way on the bottom. Yep.
Yeah. With the sides cut out in trench warfare, with the spring leaf spring to actually feed your rounds.
Yeah, and the amount of stoppages. Yeah.
It's just gummed up the hell.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard stories on documentaries of American soldiers just dumping it and grabbing German gear to work with.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. No, the BAR was a experimental weapon that they wanted to go with, but they didn't want to lose it, like you say. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still an odd one. I mean, like there are some very odd weapons between the different nations. But anyway, everybody, that is Hit the Beach for Flames of War 4th. Drop your comments in below. Tell us what you think. Is this the set that's going to get you into this game? Myself and Chris will move on. We will see you again very soon.
Visit OnTableTop.com and comment on all 3 days of the Flames of War bootcamp to be in with a chance of winning one of 3 Flames of War bundles.